Welcome back, everybody. I'm excited for today's deep dive. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, should be interesting.
We're looking at the finale of I'm Sorry, I Love You. You know, that podcast drama.
Right.
It's really great for learning English.
Mm-hmm.
We're going behind the scenes to find some interesting English phrases.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, talking about the cultural side of things.
Yeah.
How cultural differences play a role in relationships.
For sure.
Like, you could almost call this a Romeo and Juliet meets English learning kind of thing.
Yeah.
But with a much happier ending, of course.
Of course. What's really cool about this drama is it uses this cross-cultural romance
Yeah.
as like a vehicle for learning the language.
Right.
So, we meet our main character, Stephen, and he's coming back to India after spending some time in the U.S.,
Okay.
which, was life-changing for him.
Yeah.
And while he was there, he was building his career. But there was also this potential arranged marriage waiting for him back in India
Right.
with a woman named Shalini.
Okay.
But then he also had this whirlwind romance
Yeah.
with Veronica.
With an American woman.
Yes.
Okay, this is where things get interesting.
Yeah.
Because we hear about arranged marriages a lot.
Yes,
But this is like a whole other layer to it, because he also has feelings for Veronica.
definitely.
And in the drama, they say that Shalini is pining for Stephen.
Right.
When I hear that word, I always think about like someone just dramatically looking out of a window, just waiting.
It's a lot more than a little crush, though.
Yeah.
Like pining has this deep yearning in it, this longing for something you just can't have.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting how that one word can just sum up all that emotion.
Yeah.
And a lot of stories about immigrants, they have this theme of separation and longing.
Yeah.
And this drama weaves that in so well, all while teaching us this new phrase.
Yeah. Yeah. And then on the other side of the world,
Right.
we have Veronica, who couldn't go through with life without Stephen. I mean, we hear that phrase all the time.
Oh, for sure.
But hearing it within this story,
Yeah.
you really feel how torn up she is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because couldn't go through with it. It's not just about like canceling plans or something.
Right.
It's about realizing that what you want and what you're doing, they don't match up at all.
Yeah.
Like think about a time when you almost made a big decision, but then at the last minute, something just felt off and you backed out.
Right.
That's exactly what this phrase is about.
Yeah.
It's about not being able to make yourself do something,
Right.
even though maybe you should.
Yeah. Okay, so back in India, things get kind of funny
Oh, yeah.
because Stephen's brother
Yeah.
makes a joke about all these girls throwing themselves at Stephen now that he's, the successful businessman.
Right.
Is that really what's happening, though? Like, are girls really throwing themselves at him?
It's just an idiom.
Okay, good.
No one's actually being thrown.
Ew.
It's a funny way of saying that he's popular.
Right, right.
And the drama is full of idioms like that.
Oh, yeah.
They add so much color to the language.
Yeah.
And you get to hear how English is really used in conversations.
Yeah, that's cool. So we have Stephen back in India dealing with all these complicated emotions and this potential love triangle is starting to form, and we're learning all these great English phrases along the way.
Exactly.
Okay, so we left off with Stephen back in India.
Right.
And now we're going to see how his family reacts to his return.
Yes.
Because his homecoming, it's full of all this warmth.
Definitely.
Like his mom calls him her pride and joy, and everyone wants to know what he's been up to.
Yeah, like what's new with you?
Exactly.
It really shows how close families are in Indian culture.
Yeah.
It's not just about being related, it's about belonging and shared history. And having this like deep support system.
Yeah.
And I think this helps us understand why Stephen was hesitant to leave in the first place.
Right.
He wasn't just leaving a place.
Yeah.
He was leaving behind this huge part of who he is.
Right.
And the support system that he had.
And now he's kind of caught between these two worlds.
Yeah.
On one hand, you have his family and their expectations and traditions. And then on the other hand, you have his growing feelings for Veronica.
Exactly. It's like he's at a crossroads.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know which way to go.
And the drama does a great job of showing this internal struggle.
It really does.
Because it reminds us that what our culture expects of us and what we want personally, those things don't always match up.
Absolutely. It's something we all go through.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what people expect of us and what we really want.
Yeah, and just when you think things couldn't get more complicated,
Right.
the drama throws a curveball.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Veronica? The woman Stephen left back in America.
Yes.
Well, she shows up.
She does.
And not just in India. She shows up at Stephen's house.
Out of the blue.
Yeah, totally unexpected.
And you know what she does?
What?
She proposes to him.
Whoa! Talk about a plot twist.
Right.
So now, Steve is in a really tough spot.
Definitely.
How can he possibly balance his feelings for Veronica with what his family expects of him?
Right.
How will Shalini react to all of this?
Right. It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect way to end this part.
Definitely.
It makes you want to know what happens next.
For sure.
And it shows how well this drama blends language learning with this really interesting story.
Okay, so Veronica just proposed.
Right out of the blue.
Yeah, so what happens? Does Stephen say yes?
He does.
He does, wow.
Yeah, and the drama ends with this really vibrant Bollywood wedding.
Oh, wow.
With all the colors and the beautiful clothes or the music and dancing.
Oh, I bet.
And the celebration just goes on and on.
Yeah.
These weddings are like a huge spectacle in Indian culture.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
It's more than just a party, though.
Right.
In India, a wedding is like bringing two families together, not just two people.
Yeah.
It symbolizes, community and keeping traditions alive.
Yeah, that makes Stephen and Veronica's wedding even more meaningful.
Definitely.
This finale has been such a roller coaster. All these emotions and cultural insights.
For sure.
And it's so cool how the drama teaches us English along the way. It's like you're right there at the wedding, using all the words and phrases we've learned.
Right, and that's what makes this drama so special.
Definitely.
It doesn't just teach you words in a boring way.
Right.
It puts you right into the story.
Yeah, you're not just learning the language, you're experiencing it.
Exactly.
And the creators of I'm Sorry I Love You, they actually asked listeners for ideas.
They did.
For future storyline, like different genres and characters and plot twists.
That was so cool.
Yeah, it shows they really care about making language learning fun.
And interactive.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just listening anymore.
Right.
You get to help create the stories, too.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this?
Well, I think it's that learning a language doesn't have to be boring.
Yeah.
It can be exciting and emotional.
Right.
And when you put it into a good story,
it
just makes it so much more interesting.
Absolutely. And it reminds us that language isn't just about rules.
No, not at all.
It's about connecting with other cultures and understanding people from all over the world.
And building bridges, between different people and places.
So here's something to think about.
All right.
If you were making a story to learn a new language, what kind of story would it be?
Ooh, good question.
Would it be a mystery? A romance? A sci-fi adventure?
So many possibilities.
We'd love to hear your ideas.
Definitely come share ideas on social media.
Let's keep this conversation going.
Yeah, let's talk about how powerful stories can be.
For learning new languages.
Absolutely.